which is straight underneath Moeyan Hill. And within Matthew's recording, he recorded 9 scarred trees. He said there was a lot more there, but he only, what I mean by saying recorded, he done the actual designs, illustrated the designs that was etched into the log. And the thing about these logs, look out people, 9 times out of 10, it doesn't really matter what nationality you are. People call them totem poles, or a lot of people call them totem poles. It's like our people have adopted that name. Because going off Matthew's recordings, well, for what he documented, is that the proper name for the tree scarring was known as Mudama. And Mudama could have meant a particular tree. That design could have meant that particular tree or that particular plant. Could have represented that particular plant. So that's the proper name from Mudama. And with him saying that, I wouldn't imagine that name would be the same as within other different areas and territories and stuff like that, because there was boreal grounds all over Australia with all different sorts of plants and tribes. So I can only talk what's happening within the Shoalhaven, because that's where we come from and that's where it was documented. Yeah, so I think I was talking about in the morning, and I thought, well, it would be a good idea to reflect back on the tree scarring. So that's about it, I'd say. Just to finish up, we've got mate Warwick and Duff Duffield. Been there and done that with most things. Like Warwick was returned for a terrible long time that day, doing African projects.
Mine too, was.
And this fellow right here, I believe just so that's about. Hang on, I'll bring Warwick on here. Well, he can come on here and get me out of here.
I just wanted to thank Noel, and we've been associated all the time. I've been down here for 16 years, one way or another. Duff, Noel, myself. I just wanted to point out that these designs that you see here are not relevant to the designs that were recorded by Matthews. They contain zigzag patterns, some horizontal and some vertical. So these are contemporary representations that I've used several times in my career as an artist, and they hold no cultural knowledge to if I'd have went the other way, or if we'd have went the other way, probably wouldn't have. But you would be putting designs on here but nobody's really quite sure of what they mean. So rather than do that, we do what an artist does, sort of imagine, create. And yeah, I just wanted to make that point, Noel, really, so people get the right idea about that. And there is going to be a plaque put up here on this wall somewhere explaining the full story for yourself should you come back, your friends, and anybody else that comes. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you. He's done all the hard work. And he always does a fantastic job.
Has he got any words to say?
Yeah, unless Duff wants to say anything.
No, go for it.
Yeah,
There you go.
I'm finished. Yeah, spoken.
Well, the first thing I wanted to do under Noel and other elders that you're part of, is to say thanks for your welcome for the whole festival the other night. As being the hosts, really, for us. I want to say thanks for that. And for me and for the church, receiving your grace by having this mural here, it's kind of our tiny way of trying to say we acknowledge your place in this area and your history, and I'm very thankful for the grace and generosity that your people, your elders, the traditional custodians in particular, have in receiving us and accepting us and talking with us and embracing with us, and all the work that you've done for the mural itself, but for the whole festival, and in life beyond that too. And we try and keep listening. Someone said we're meant to start listening to a voice, eh? So we try and keep listening to learn, because I know we've got a heap to learn about caring for this place as well as your ancestors have to bring us. I mean, you just look out there as well as here, and you just see it's a beautiful, beautiful country, beautiful place, and a lot of that is to do with your ancestors and how they cared for the place. So I want to thank you for that and honour and respect elders, traditional custodians, past and present, and anybody here from other countries here now. Respect you too, and try and keep listening. The only other thing I wanted to say on behalf of the church here is that we are very open. If the community and the elders would like to add value to this by using it for storytelling, for sharing, for your own sort of stuff, just for yourself and not anybody else, anything like that, please come and chat, and we're open to that, and we'd love you to use the wall more, so that it might be a benefit for yourselves, but also wider, telling stories and stuff, even if they're uncomfortable. That's all right. And I did ask Nathan along. He's from our sort of state level office. We call it synod, but that's just jargon. So state level office. He's from Anawan Pomeroy country in terms of ancestry, and he does this sort of work over the whole state and the ACT. So I asked him along to say something on behalf of the wider church.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew, and thank you, Uncle and brothers. I'm really pleased. I got this opportunity because we have a guy or a person in the synod that we call the moderator, and he's the guy that turns up to all the openings. And unfortunately, he was busy, so he sort of dobbed me in and said, "Nathan, you should go down there and have a look." But I'm really privileged to be down here because part of my role as Director of First Peoples Strategy and Engagement is to travel around the state to a lot of our congregations who express interest in building relationships with the local Aboriginal community. And so I often talk to them about things like this, about doing things with local community, building relationships and forming positive sort of relationships moving forward. So I'm just amazingly grateful for Berry Uniting Church and the Church Council and to the local mob for engaging in this process, because as much as I get to come down and see the beautiful South Coast, I also get to tell this story when I go to other congregations as an example of something positive that can start the discussions and the talking and the building of relationships. So well done, and thanks for having me.
And I've got to say thanks to Linka and the whole OpenField team. There's a big team, isn't there? For all the work